Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, grandmas and grandpas, maybe anybody who watches this.
That'd be cool.
Aliens and monsters alike.
Weird.
Yeah, we've got this moment in every episode where we say, hey, let's talk about something that's not WWE.
Yes. We're lovers of wrestling.
All wrestling.
Not just WWE. We watch some ridiculous stuff. We've even watched some Kaiju Big Battle in the past, which segue into is part of the independent wrestling scene, and this is the Indy News.
Indy News. We got results and upcoming shows, and we got a lot of all that stuff.
But Thomas Wolfe will not be joining us for this.
You saw him earlier
yes.
in our 25th edition of the episode.
Yes.
But due to scheduling conflicts, he won't be here for this secondary portion of filming.
So, deal with it.
And thanks to the guys at Top Rope Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I bought me a Sting shirt.
Awesome new Sting shirt. If you are not aware of what Sting's been doing, go back in the playlist and watch Thomas's Top 5, where Sting makes his debut on the Top 5.
Yeah.
And you can find out why. But we're going to do Indie News. We're going to start off with Lucha Underground, who the show that is quickly winning our hearts as far as the weekly wrestling shows go.
It's good to see a lot of the indie guys get their national televised exposure.
Yes, and in a much different atmosphere. If you haven't checked out Lucha Underground yet, it is on the El Rey Network. It is an awesome show.
Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday. Wednesdays, I believe, at 8 p.m. We opened up a little vignette that Big Rick was signing for his bonus. He was getting his $100,000 bonus that was being guaranteed to him by Dario Cueto. But our first match it would come out of a little in-ring segment where we'd have Ivelisse and Son of Havoc out there talking. Ivelisse talking about how, the first time Son of Havoc showed up, he had to face a woman, and then last week he had to face half a man. Why can't we get some real competition out here? Get someone that can actually, bring the fight to Son of Havoc. And Son of Havoc goes, you know what? I'm tired of being a joke. If there's anyone back there that's got the balls to face me, I want them to come out right now. And we're
gonna another debut. This is another reason why I like Lucha Underground, by the way, is they didn't introduce all their roster right off the bat.
Yeah, we get
debuts every week.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's brings
a surprise factor every show.
And this was a surprise to me because I have never been exposed to this type of Mexican wrestler.
We had Pimpinela Escarlata.
Yes.
And Exotico, which is a different breed of luchador.
Very different. Difference an understatement.
If you are knowledgeable in lucha libre, especially down home in Mexico, the Exoticos are extremely popular. They're the flamboyant. That's the best word I can use to destroy them.
Don't destroy them.
Calling them flamboyant isn't destroying them either.
No.
It's the best word I can use to describe them.
There we go.
They're the flamboyant, very brightly colored, occasionally cross-dressing luchadors.
Which was very much what we had with Pimpinela Escarlata. We had a fun match between him, and Son of Havoc. Pimpinela ended up getting really hurt during the match.
Yeah, during I think it was a Banderas over the corner.
Yeah,
he separated his shoulder.
Well, he went to step up on the turnbuckle and slipped and fell right on his arm.
Yeah,
and was just dead arm the rest of the match, but still kept it going.
And still pulled out the victory.
Yeah, ended up getting a roll up after a distraction. Mascarita Sagrada came out and started chasing Ivelisse around the ring.
Yeah, and
Son of Havoc was, what the hell is going on? Ended up getting rolled up by Pimpinela Escarlata, and the Exotico gets the win. Very strange. Has kind of a little party with Mascarita for a little bit in the ring. Up next, we Dario Cueto is going to the bathroom.
Whistling John Cena's theme song.
I thought he was. licked his finger when he turned around, which was kind of gross.
Yeah.
And would be stopped by Johnny Mundo, who would tell him, "Hey, I want my money, and I want it now. You know, you get you."
He thought Dario was working for JJ Wentworth.
You know, if you've watched the first episode, he guaranteed a briefcase of money to the most impressive person, was going to give it to Johnny Mundo, and refused. So Johnny says, "I want my money, and
you know what? By the end of the night."
Yeah, you have by the end of the night, and I'm going to take some insurance, and takes the key around Dario's neck, which is to some jail cell that has someone in it, who we haven't figured out yet. We get another debut of Famous B.
Famous B.
Yeah,
he's slightly better than Infamous B.
But at least he made it to TV, but he wouldn't last long because he'd have to face Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
And he got destroyed.
Big dude with tattoos and likes to spear people.
Mil Muertes is a big, scary dude.
Took him down with the flatliner.
Famous B did not stand a chance. Famous B would get the lick of death, so I guess
this time I think Katrina's skirt was too tight, and that's why she didn't bend over.
Yeah.
To lick him while he's on the ground. She made Mil Muertes pull him up.
Well, she actually had to fix it when she got in the ring too.
Yeah.
So, up next we had
Katrina looked exceptionally hot this time around.
Always.
She had like this leather outfit.
Always. I love Katrina. Up next, we had a really cool Drago vignette.
Yeah.
Where they kind of described the story of when all the dragons died out. They were a problem for man, but one rose up as a man, and just some really cool cinematography. And then this led into a rematch between Drago and King Cuerno. King Cuerno losing to Drago in his debut match.
Yeah, I think this match was almost as entertaining as the first one.
It was.
We had Drago attempt to use the same pin he used in the first match.
Yeah, King Cuerno was aware of that and was able to break free of it. We just had some great action here. Mm-hmm. We also had a very quick appearance by Angela Fong, formerly known as Savannah. She kind of walked out during Son of Havoc vs. Masquerita last week, so we're still not really sure what her deal is. But
it seems like she's scouting. I think she's scouting for who she might align herself with first.
Yeah, but King Cuerno would get the win this time, tying 1-1 with Drago. He would continue a post-match beatdown, letting Drago know that the hunt has just begun. So we're definitely seeing the building of a...
Which they subtitled on the screen.
Yes, because
he said it.
Yeah. It wasn't in Spanish, though.
No, he said it in English, but they still subtitled it.
Well, just in case. Then we'd have Johnny Mundo come out and tell Dario Cueto he's giving him to the count of 10 to bring out his money. He starts counting. He gets to about 5 or 6.
He gets interrupted by Conan.
No. Well, no. First, he got interrupted by Big Rick.
Big Rick.
Big Rick comes out and goes,
Ryclone.
Yeah, he says, "Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. The ring you're standing in is mine." And then Johnny Mundo dives onto him, so he's taken out. He gets back in. He keeps counting 7, 8, 9. Then Conan comes up and starts talking to him. Distracts him long enough for Big Rick to get in and attack Johnny.
He said that Puma doesn't have your back. Puma is not part of your posse.
Yeah, he's been trying to keep Prince Puma away from Johnny Mundo for the last couple weeks.
Which then Puma comes out and actually starts helping.
Yes,
Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, saves Johnny Mundo from the attack on Big Rick.
Saying.
But then it swerves again, and we have Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo start trading punches.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of...
That's over Johnny Mundo costing Prince Puma his match.
That's right. Yeah. Last week there was a Boyle Heights street fight between Prince Puma and Big Rick, which didn't end well for Prince Puma. Then Cueto comes out. He's got the briefcase. He goes, "You know what, Johnny? This money was supposed to be Big Rick's signing bonus, but you want it so bad. Well, here's how we're gonna determine who gets this money. We're gonna put it up above that ring, and we're gonna have a ladder match for the $100,000 briefcase."
So if what the commentators are saying is correct, it's going to be a 3-way ladder match.
Yes.
Between Big Rick, Prince Puma, and Johnny Mundo.
Yes.
Which I think says there's going to be a lot of crazy flippy stuff going on.
And
I'm thinking double 450 from Big Rick.
Oh, totally. Big Rick will provide a really good base for the two of these guys, so they'll be able to pull off all kinds of crazy stuff. Since it's a triple threat, we could probably see Cisco and Cortez getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
We could see a number of things, but
or since it's just a ladder match, there's no disqualification anyways.
Yeah. And then in our main event of Lucha Underground, we had a tag team match that built from last week. We had Phoenix teaming with Sexy Star to take on Chavo Guerrero Jr. and Pentagon Jr.
So, Team Sexy Phoenix versus Team Junior Junior.
This match was phenomenal.
It was really well done.
And
Chavo has amazing heat at Lucha Underground.
Yeah, he's got Vicky heat. I mean, he's beat up enough, like top legend, like Mexican legends, that I think he's really starting to get over as top heel there. But Phoenix and Sexy Star would end up getting the win. There was just so much action here. It's great to see. We get a break from the guys can't face the girls, because we get to see Sexy Star get in there and whoop the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
And we had great back and forth action. Phoenix is phenomenal. I love Pentagon Jr. has a really cool a way about him. Like I get a very La Parka vibe from him, because he can play power game and high flying game at the same time, which is really cool.
He's a little on the bigger side for a luchador.
Yes, he is. So it'll be interesting to see, because we know that's been building over the triple threat match when Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. debuted, and Sexy Star and Chavo has been going for a couple weeks now, so it'll be interesting to see what turn that takes. So we can see all kinds of stuff, but that's it for Lucha Underground. We're gonna move on to some. We're gonna move on to some other indie shows. We had a really complicated one last week. If you watched that, we're about to give you results to that crazy one. Take it away, Kevin Hawk.
Yeah, we had Beyond Wrestling, which you can look at online at lookmanofans.com. They had their Tournament for Tomorrow and Tournament for Tomorrow 316 running simultaneously. Not simultaneously, but on the same days.
2 days,
different
4
times.
shows, 2 tournaments.
Yeah. So we had the Tournament for Tomorrow 316 Night 1 show on the 29th. Basically skipping over the fact that there were a whole bunch of tag team matches. I'm just going to say the semi-finalists, Ninjas with Attitudes, Shinron and Kitsune, advanced over the Can-Am Connection and EYFBO in their first and second round matches. And the team of Biff Busick and Drew Gulak defeated Brutal Burgers and the Devastation Corporation in their first and second round matches. So those two teams, Ninjas with Attitudes and Biff Busick and Drew Gulak, are going to be advancing to the Tournament for Tomorrow Night 3 show, or Tournament for Tomorrow 3 Night 2 show, in a 4-way match against the winners of the following mornings or following afternoons first and second round matches.
It's even confusing saying the results.
I know, right? But then we had the show later that night, Alive and Kicking. We had a 4-way elimination tag team match involving EYFBO, the Battery, and the Minutemen, but it was won by the Osirian Portal.
Woohoo!
John Silver defeated Colin Delaney. Jay Freddy defeated Brian Fury. The Hoods defeated The Influence. Dave Cole defeated Anthony Stone 2-1 in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Silverant defeated Matt Tremont in the Styles Clash match. Drew Gulak and Kimber Lee defeated Cherry Bomb and Pepper Parks in the Intergender Tag match. And in the main event, the Young Bucks, Brian Cage, Chuck Taylor, and Trevor Lee defeated Juicy Product, the Doom Patrol, and Dan Barry in the East vs. West elimination
Juicy
10-man
Product
tag match.
and Doom Patrol.
It's a good combination of teams.
It's hilarious.
Alright, so then on the 30th, the next day, we had the Tournament for Tomorrow 316 Part 2, where Milk Chocolate defeated the Batiri and the Colony, 2 Chikara teams, in their first and second round matches, and the Garden State Gods defeated the Minutemen and the Kimber Bombs in their first and second round matches. So we know now that the semi-main event of Tournament for Tomorrow 3 is going to be a 4-way tag team match.
Yes.
Between the Garden State Gods, Milk Chocolate, Biff Busick and Drew Gulak, and Ninjas with Attitudes.
Ninjas with Attitudes might be my favorite.
So a couple hours later, we start up with the Tournament for Tomorrow 3, which is going to be another tag team tournament going on. So bear with us here. The Young Bucks defeated the Hoods in a first round match. We also had Team Tremendous defeat the Gentleman's Club. Juicy Product defeat the Osirian Portal. And the Doom Patrol defeat the Hit Squad. To put a break in between rounds, we had Eddie Edwards defeat Silver Ant. And Brian Cage defeat Pinky Sanchez.
Both would be great matches.
Yeah. And then we had a second round where the Young Bucks defeated the Doom Patrol. And Team Tremendous defeated Juicy Product. And we had the Tournament for Tomorrow 3/16 finals where Biff Busick and Drew Gulak defeated the Garden State Gods, Milk Chocolate, and Ninjas with Attitudes.
Wow.
And then in the finals of Tournament for Tomorrow 3, Team Tremendous defeated the Young Bucks. So congratulations, Team Tremendous. You won a big old tag team tournament in one night.
The team of Biff Busick and Drew Gulak. Those are two guys that we've talked about. Like, we've talked about Drew Gulak a lot. Mm-hmm. He's one of our regular indie stars that answers the indie question.
Here's another note that I think is interesting. They're going to be opposing each other in the 4-way Cage of Death match later this month.
Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Well, on top of that, and then Biff Busick, you said, 2 weeks ago, was a very busy man.
Yeah.
And now he's been on, almost every single indie show that we've mentioned coming up. So
yeah, he's gonna be in the 4-way dance match also at Black Coal Sun.
Damn. You go, Busick?
Yeah. And then last night, from today, the day we're filming this, last night we had Shine 23.
Oh yeah. Which we only had, I think, 3 matches.
3 or 4 matches announced. So we got the full card results for you.
Alright.
We had, in the opening match, Eva Lise defeated Amanda Rodriguez via submission. We had Amber O'Neal set to take on Luscious Latasha, but Amber O'Neal's former tag team partner, Santana Garrett, came out and she said, hey, I want to face you one-on-one because Amber turned on her, and Amber said, okay, fine, but from now on, I'm Amber Gallows, not Amber O'Neal.
For those of you that don't know, Amber O'Neal and Luke Gallows got married just this past summer, I believe.
Yeah. And then we had Allison Kay defeated Crazy Mary Dobson in a tag team match. The BTY, which is Marty Bell and Jamie Jameson, defeated the Buddy System with the feet on the ropes. Not fair. Vanessa Craven defeated Leva Bates, a.k.a. Blue Pants.
Blue Pants!
Thunder Kitty defeated Leah Von Dutch after interference from Leilani Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor May defeated La Rosa Negra in the tag titles. The tag team championship match, the Legendary, which is Molly Hosaka and Brandy Wine, retained over the Kimber Bombs. There was also interference from Leilani Kai and Thunder Kitty involved in that match. And then we had the Santana Garrett defeat Amber Gallows in a match that would happen right before the main event, the Shine title match, where Nevia defeated the Shine champion Mia Yim via disqualification due to interference by Eva Lise.
So did she win the championship?
No.
No.
Same rule, disqualification, titles don't change hands.
Which is interesting because be sure to check out our midweek wrap-up when Mia Yim was on NXT this week.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool.
Look forward to that.
And then last and definitely not least, we just got done watching it because it happened today.
Yes, it did.
The Chikara iPay-per-view, right here. Chikara, Tomorrow Never Dies. From the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia.
Formerly known as the ECW Arena.
We had the pre-show first.
Yes.
Where Bryce Remsburg, looking dapper in a suit and a beard.
Yeah, good-looking beard.
Ran down the card and the history between all the matches and whatnot. And then we had the Young Lions Cup Finals on the pre-show. So you didn't even pay for this one.
Yeah,
you just found it on YouTube. I think I paid a penny for it anyways.
Hey, it's Chikara. We'll pay whatever
I'll pay
amount
4 pennies for
Yeah.
this match.
Yeah. To watch it free on YouTube.
Yeah. Heidi Lovelace versus Missile Assault Ant.
Yeah, so we have, the breakout star from the Colony Extreme Force taking on what could be the very first female Young Lions Cup champion.
Mm-hmm.
Missile Assault Ant was on the offense for most of it. He's significantly bigger than Heidi Lovelace.
Yeah, he's making her live up to her nickname, the Punk Rock Ragdoll.
Yeah, he was, tossing her around, yelling his name,
A lot.
Just a lot of big kicks, a lot of big strikes, just really taking it to her. But Heidi Lovelace pulls out the win.
Yes, she finally broke down. She had her come back and broke down Missile Assault Ant to his kneeling position and hit him with the Hurricane Rana driver into the mat.
Which is so cool.
And gets the win. She becomes the first ever Young Lioness Cup champion.
Yeah, so pretty exciting way to start off the show. We get a little bit of a break. We get our little video package about War Changes Everything, which you can see on Chikara Office on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Quite entertaining. But then our first match of the night would be the German suplex match.
You can only win after doing a German suplex.
Yes, pinfall immediately after a German suplex. Smooth sailing Ashley Remington taking on Juan Francisco de Coronado.
Both these guys use the version German suplex or German suplex for a finisher.
Yes.
So this is a natural fit for both of these guys.
Really good. They started off with a lot of really good comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Remington
using the finger gun.
Yeah, that was a great spot. There was one spot where he held up the finger gun, and Juan Francisco knocked it away, and he brought up the other one, and then he did it again, and he brought up both of them. But then that transitioned into just some really good technical wrestling, trying different ways to get the German suplex off.
Yeah, and really a good demonstration of the agility and tenacity of Juan Francisco, something he's not that accustomed to showing off.
Yes.
He does a spear through the top and second turnbuckle.
Yes.
Across the corners. So think of the ring as like this corner. They went actually from both guys on the apron through the turnbuckles, speared him to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've seen this, if you've watched NXT and you've seen Sami Zayn do it, or if
he does the torpedo like over the bottom turnbuckle.
Yeah, or if you follow PWG, El Generico did it.
Yeah.
Did it really well too. But smooth sailing Ashley Remington comes away with the win, showing up.
This
great
is
showing of strength.
the same thing that we saw from Juan Francisco, showing his like agility and cunningness that we don't normally see. We saw like just super upper body strength from Ashley Remington.
Yeah, we get a German suplex over the top rope, holding him for a second, then driving him down, getting the bridge. 1, 2, 3. Ashley Remington presents the
customary fruit basket.
Yeah, the fruit basket, which I almost thought he was going to kick, but he didn't. He just kind of left it in the ring. So moving on to our next match, we had 2 points versus 2 points, almost a grudge match of sorts. Eddie Kingston taking on Jimmy Jacobs.
And this match was a lot like how I expected it was going to be right out the gates. Just both men mauling each other.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we knew it was going to be a fight. These two, granted, they are amazing wrestlers, but these two have so much... This whole Flood storyline has caused so much issues between these two.
Yeah. And Kingston and Jacobs are among, in the indies, some of the guys who I consider like the top brawlers. Even though Jacobs doesn't look like it, he's definitely one of the top brawlers. We talked about it last week or the week before. The matches he's had in Ring of Honor that we've seen, like the cage match with BJ Whitmer, the match with Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
Just very violent matches.
He's very capable of evil stuff. Speaking of evil stuff, he walks out with Kid Cyclone's cape on.
Yeah. What a dick.
Already kind of taking a shot at
He's
Chikara.
got Volgar and the Snow Troll with him.
Yes. And so we just get a super physical match.
Mm-hmm.
Volgar tries to get involved.
He gets the back fist of the future.
Back fist of the future. Jimmy Jacobs, tries to take advantage of that, but Eddie Kingston says no and delivers 2 back fists to the future to get the win over Jimmy Jacobs. An impressive match. Celebration didn't last long because Kid Cyclone would come out and attack Eddie Kingston with a monkey wrench.
Yeah. That was, I think, that's one of the things I said before we watched the pay-per-views. I was like, what's the swerve going to be?
Yeah, we were going over ideas of what could potentially happen.
Generally, what I was saying is, like, who's going to be the guy who's going to turn? bad or good.
Yeah.
You know, and we Kid Cyclone attacking Eddie Kingston, effectively turning him bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
well,
neutral.
He's kind of out for himself. He talks about how, I never asked to be in a militia. I never asked to be part of tradition. Ends up taking his mask off and revealing his real name, Kevin Condrey.
Kevin Cochran.
No, Kevin Condrey. I checked before we were.
Really?
Yeah.
It's Condrey?
Mm-hmm.
I swear he said Cochran.
Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Kevin Condrey talks about how he wants to be himself. He wants to do things for himself. He brought up a really good thing. It's like Eddie Kingston messes up. Eddie Kingston apologizes. Eddie Kingston's forgiven, which has kind of been the motif every time Eddie Kingston kind of jumps one way or the other. So yeah, he's effectively going out on his own. He also frees Snow Troll and hands him the monkey wrench. Snow Troll follows him to the back, so we could be seeing the rising of a third group, a neutral party.
Yeah.
People who don't want to associate with either Chikara or the Flood. So that is going to be an interesting development we could see. Then we have this would be our second title match of the night. We have the Campeonatos de Parejas on the line. Devastation Corporation cashing in their 3 points, taking on the Throwbacks.
This match was nothing short of extremely physical and very entertaining.
Yes, it was.
A lot of near falls. We saw Devastation Corporation take the first fall, hitting the death blow on Mr. Touchdown. A lot of brawling. We had the spot where everyone went to the outside and the friggin' somersault dive over the top rope.
Massive, holy
wow.
crap.
Shelton Benjamin ate the Undertaker, and that's what happened.
That was
another spot that really got me was the the Super 3D.
Yes, I believe onto
Blaster.
Was it no,
Smash
it was Smashmaster. They were getting ready to do the death blow onto Touchdown, and Dasher used Touchdown as a springboard. Kind of flubbed up a little bit, but caught himself on the ropes.
Take consideration they've been wrestling for 15 minutes already.
Touchdown fights out, knocks a Blaster down, and Dasher jumps off the ropes with Smashmaster and catches him with a 3D. I believe that's how.
I think they scored their fall.
I think that was their first fall. Awesome way.
But after some more fighting, taking a lot of 2-on-1 advantage, the you alright?
Nope.
The Devastation Corporation would hit. I think they hit Mr. Touchdown.
Yep.
With a move called the.
Because Mr. Touchdown had actually broken up multiple pinfalls.
Mm-hmm.
They kept trying to pin Dasher for some reason.
Well, Dasher had been the weak link whenever the Throwbacks and the Devastation Corporation have gone against each other.
It was true. So yeah.
But they hit Mr. Touchdown with a move called the Master Blaster.
Yeah. Which
might make it on your Rude Moves Chikara list.
It was messed up. Okay?
It was like a back suplex, leggy elbow drop thing.
Yeah.
Sort of like pseudo.
I called it
Doomsday device.
Yeah, I called it the Devastation device, but Master Blaster.
Uncomfortable landing for Touchdown.
Terrible.
And the Devastation Corporation are your new Campeones de Parejas.
Sidney Vacabella, swear to God.
We did forget to mention that distraction that cost Mr. Touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Was he grabbed Sidney Bacabella by the hair and Sidney Bacabella jumped away from him, revealing that Sidney Bacabella is bald.
B-A-W-L-D, bald. And you called it just before it happened.
Like within seconds. I was like, he's going to jump down and he's going to pull his wig off.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah. It was a really, really good match.
It was a great match.
Devastation Corporation sporting like silvery white tights.
Yeah, which was crazy. I should have known. I guess I did kind of know. Because they've really been building up Devastation Corporation.
Giving them the King of Trios.
King of Trios. They've been having a very mainstay spot at the front lines of the Flood.
Yeah.
And they've been pulling out some good wins. That this year has just been the year of the Devastation Corporation. They finished it off by winning the Campeones de Parejas. But our next match, 1-on-1, a real grudge match. Loser leaves Chikara.
2 years in the making.
Yes.
In this match.
Delirious stating back in 2012 that 2014 would be the end of Ultra Mantis. Just this past week, they would make the stipulation that the loser of this match would leave Chikara.
Yeah, and this match started off like fast and furious.
Yeah.
Within seconds, I think Quackenbush, who was on commentary, said within like 40 seconds of the match, Ultra Menace Black had already hit the praying mantis driver on Delirious.
Yeah. I think he tried. I don't think he actually hit it, though.
Well, no, he hit it and tried to pin Delirious, and Delirious kicked out.
Yeah, okay.
Delirious would, in turn, respond with an praying mantis driver of his own.
Yeah.
And Ultra Mantis would kick out.
Which was like...
This was the move of the match.
I was just going to say
praying
that,
mantis driver.
They kept
again.
trying to hit it, and I think it took Ultra Mantis 2 to finally finish him off. But
yes.
But we had all kinds of crazy... We had referee Barber get knocked out, and then we had the return of Derek Sabata. He came out, and Delirious was like angry at him because he didn't get the 3 count on Mantis. And
Sabato held his ground, said,
yes.
"Hey, I will DQ you."
Yeah.
Which would be an automatic, you're out of Chikara.
Yeah.
You know? But
just, man, this match was just so anger-driven. There was a lot of emotion from both these guys.
Yeah. Mantis ended up picking up the win, hitting Cosmic Doom, followed by another
Doom.
praying Mantis driver.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And we find out that Delirious, in fact, is going to be the one leaving Chikara.
Yeah, we get, Barber gets helped out of the ring. Frightmare and Hollow Wicked come down and start celebrating with Ultra Mantis. Crowds going crazy.
But Delirious would not leave without delivering maybe the final blow.
Yeah, Delirious pulls out the Eye of Tyr and takes Hollow Wicked hostage. He's got him in kind of a chokehold looking thing. Frightmare's freaking out. We don't know what's going on. And then Delirious lets go of Hollow Wicked and he yells, "You're dead!" And he boots Ultra Mantis right in the face. He walks away following. He walks away.
And halfway down the ramp, he turns around and yells for Frightmare.
Yeah, and Frightmare's trying to fight it. The Chikarmi is trying to help him fight it, but ultimately Frightmare follows Hollow Wicked. Delirious laughs at a fallen Ultra Mantis. So even though...
An ominous fade to black.
So I'm wondering, does this mean since Delirious is supposed to leave Chikara, will he not abide by the stipulation, stick around, or will he control Hollow Wicked and Frightmare from afar where Mantis can't do anything about it?
Yeah, I think your second one, I think, is where I feel this storyline is going, is that he's going to be kind of pulling some strings using Hollow Wicked and Frightmare as long as he can as a tool to further destroy Ultra Mantis Black.
Yeah, which I guess Mantis probably would have been better off leaving Chikara because now he has to face his 2 partners on a continuous basis. Up next,
Speaking of partners,
the 10th annual Cybernetico Royale takes place. Team Flood, led by Jakob Hammermeyer, taking on Team Chikara, led by Worker Ant.
Yeah, this 8 versus 8 circuit match. This definitely didn't lack in anything I expected it to.
No. It was just extreme action and energy all the way through.
Yeah.
All 16 guys were just on top of it.
But I think the big story here is actually the in-ring return of Soldier Ant, who we haven't seen for over a year.
Yeah, let me just go back through.
He's going to read off the order of elimination.
Yeah.
Let's say we had Team Chikara, which was Worker Ant leading Silver Ant, Fire Ant, Ophidian, Amasis, Oberian Kodama, and Jervis Cottonbelly. And on the other hand, we had Jakob Hammermeyer leading the Flood, which was Soldier Ant, Noken, Oliver Grimsley, Flex Rumble Crunch, Jaka, Oleg the Usurper, and Soldier Ant.
So yeah, way too much action to literally just tell you how these happened. But order of elimination was first Jaka was eliminated by Worker Ant, then Volgar was eliminated by Kodama. Kodama was then eliminated by Flex Rumble Crunch. Jervis was eliminated by Soldier Ant. Oleg by Worker Ant. Grimsley by Ophidian. Amasis by Noken. Worker Ant by Soldier Ant. Obarian by Soldier Ant. Ophidian by Soldier Ant. Noken by Silver Ant. Flex Rumble Crunch by Fire Ant. And Silver Ant by Jakob Hammermeyer.
Then Jakob by Fire Ant.
Yes. Oh, I missed that one. Jakob by Fire Ant, which left Fire Ant and Soldier Ant in the ring together, the two oldest members of the colony, as you made mention.
The original colony.
The original colony. Ultimately, Soldier Ant would eliminate Fire Ant.
With a choke slam.
With a choke slam. So, Soldier Ant, 1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5 eliminations. He eliminated over half of the Chikara team.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier Ant was...
He was the Roman Reigns of Team Flood.
Exactly. Soldier Ant he wasn't selling like he normally was. He was just so much more angry. Like he had
almost
so much,
robotic.
Yeah. It was, he had so much animosity towards these people that he was
especially his former teammates.
Yes, absolutely. Taking the first, giving the first blow by taking out the captain of the team and the newest member of the colony, Worker Ant.
Mm-hmm.
Worker Ant working with a knee injury, which ultimately was the reason for his elimination. It was just a strong showing by Soldier Ant. He even kind of had a little moment with Jakob, where it was the last two of them, and I think they were just against Fire Ant at that point. I think Fire Ant was the only one left, and Jakob kept hitting him, hey, we got to do this, blah blah blah. And then Soldier Ant actually made a move at Jakob, and Jakob's like, okay, and he got out of the ring. So a little bit of tension there. Is that gonna, bring up any issues within the Flood? I don't know, but Team Flood gets the win, and Soldier Ant takes the Cibernetico.
Yeah, Soldier Ant, the 2014 Cibernetico champion.
Yes. And then we had a little intermission while they were putting the cage together for our main event, Icarus versus Decalion.
We had an interview,
yes.
Gavin Loudspeaker interviewing the director of Fun, Mike Quackenbush. Quackenbush talking about the cage match and where they got their cage from, and how dangerous this match is going to be, how Decalion has been the engine of destruction, taking out 8 people along the pathway. Yeah. 6 of them Chikara, 2 of them their own Flood members.
Yep.
And how, Icarus being the flag bearer for Chikara, being the Grand Championship. The Grand Championship's not on the line. And then because of that, we had the appearance from Chuck Taylor, the Kentucky gentleman, Raccoon City's favorite son, and looking dapper as well in his suit.
Oh yeah, looking good.
And he said, guess what? If the title's not on the line here, the title is going to be on the line in Chikara's season 2015 season 12.
No, they were saying season 15.
Well, it's the 2015 season.
So, yeah, I guess.
Chikara started in 2002.
But they took a year off, technically.
Man.
So
who knows what it is? It's the Chikara season opener next year, January 25th?
26th.
26th, the same day as the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
They're going to be
25th.
They're going to be back in the ECW arena, which is just literally minutes away from where the Royal Rumble is going to be.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Chuck Taylor versus Icarus for the Grand Championship in the main event.
So that'll be intense.
Yeah. Speaking of intense, though.
Fist implodes. Yes. This main event, Icarus versus Decalion in the second ever steel cage match in Chikara history. Decalion comes out with Volgar. Volgar's kind of, helping him take off all the, the coat.
Decalion has a lot of gimmicks on.
Yeah. Taking
This
off
thing that looks like it's a long sleeved, long coat was like 8 pieces. Like, he's pulling stuff off his shoulders, his arms.
Yeah. Takes off the
Decalion
mask.
actually had to break one of like the ropes or strings or something that held the coat around his waist. Like he's trying to pull it down and he just breaks it off because he can't.
And this, so Decalion
no
now,
theme song either.
No,
which that kind of threw me off.
He doesn't really need it. He's so intense anyway. But we get him walking to the ring with the belt made of the fallen Chikara masks.
Proud Oak, Thunder Frog, Cobalt, Equinox 3, and Creator Wrestler 2.
Yes. So he gets in. He kind of looks around. He's seeing, checking out the cage, and he ends up pulling a move that I felt was, he was trying to get a rise out of Bryce as he dropped the belt at Bryce's feet.
Yeah, well, I mean, he basically chucked the belt at him.
Yeah, and it was just like, hey, look what happened here. Then we get the grand champion, the entrance of Icarus,
wearing the belt,
wielding Thunder Frog's hammer.
Yeah, the Thunder Hammer, Thunder Frog.
Yeah, and Decalion letting him know that 8 have fallen and you're going to be number 9.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Yeah, it was a very, very intense way to start the match. These two did not waste any time.
No, and Icarus had a great game plan going into this match, was to attack the right arm of Decalion.
Which is usually what is used to do the choke breaker, which is killed off 8 people.
They call it his kill move, or his death move.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which that's what Quackenbush kept calling it. Oh, if he doesn't have that arm, he can't use his kill move.
Yeah. Which is something that Icarus...
Yeah, Decalion started it on himself, though, because he went to punch Icarus in the head, missed, and actually punched the center support beam in the cage.
Ow! Holy... That would hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Decalion really playing the power game. Icarus had a game plan. He was obviously, finding all these different ways to attack the arm. And, there was even a point where Decalion was using the arm and just kept having to back off because so much damage had been done to it. The match just gets so much more intense. The Chikara ends up coming out and surrounding the ring. Trying to will Icarus on. We get Icarus calling Decalion a coward. He's standing up on the top rope. Get up here, you coward! They start fighting up on the top rope.
Decalion sets up like he's going to powerbomb Icarus off the top rope.
Yeah, sets up Icarus into a top rope Frankensteiner.
Yeah.
That just takes out Decalion. And
almost gets the win. Decalion gets the shoulder up.
Yeah.
And then Decalion counters one of Icarus' moves and sets him up for the choke breaker, the kill move, which Icarus then counters.
Counters into the Chikara special. Icarus gets Decalion to tap out.
Yeah.
A huge win for the Chikara. Decalion is just frustrated. He doesn't know what's going on. He starts yelling for the flood, and so we get. This is the first appearance from Piqui Sanchez. He wasn't on the card, but he was out there with Jimmy Jacobs and
Flex Rumble Crunch.
Cindy Bacabella. They're all coming out, but they all stop. And
Jimmy Jacobs actually ordered them to stop.
Yes, yeah, he stops. He goes. No, we can't run the risk of him killing any more of us. He needs to understand, and he yells. While in the back, from what I gathered, the Chikara, multiple people were able to lift up the Thunder Hammer to give to Icarus. Icarus was on the top rope with the Thunder Hammer, and Jimmy Jacobs yelled, "Decalion, this is your bed. Now, this is the bed you made. Now you die in it." And he turned around just in time to see Icarus come down with the Thunder Hammer, essentially killing Decalion.
Yeah. So we have a really interesting dynamic going into the next year with Decalion gone. Is Jimmy Jacobs going to assume control of the Flood again and keep them going, or does this mean the Flood is going to disband if their general is gone?
We have the potential rise of Kevin Condry's group of people who don't want to associate with either side. Now we've got Chuck Taylor coming back into the title picture.
And speaking of coming back,
yes,
we got a post-credits vignette teasing at the return of the Thunder Frog.
Yeah, apparently the usage of the Thunder Hammer, the death of Deucalion, has rebirthed the Thunder Frog. We get an unnamed man who is Skyping with his mother. There's a loud thunder strike outside where he's talked about. I found the Rogaine to Corn, and which you were saying could be the Resurrection Stone.
I was sort of thinking that.
I think it might be, and here's what I'm thinking is, he ends up going outside and he goes, hey, the corn, it's all burned down, but there was a hole in the middle, and look what I found, and it's a frog wearing a cape
with a thunderbolt on it,
with a lightning bolt on it. Here's what I'm thinking.
It was a real frog.
Is this guy? I feel like is going to like maybe raise Thunder Frog back to full growth, and then Thunder Frog's going to realize what this guy has. Which is possible. The Resurrection Stone.
Because we saw at the beginning of this vignette, this guy has like a glass case full of all sorts of weird looking artifacts in it.
Yeah. It looks like he almost maybe runs like an artifact shop, or maybe a pawn shop or something like that.
Little knick-knack kiosk.
And he talks about how he's been able to bring his corn back to life, and it's been doing great for the farm that he's on. So we do have the potential of that new artifact to come in. Will it play a role in 2015? What's going to happen?
Does that mean we're going to see the resurrection of the Proud Oak and Cobalt and Archibald Peck and all the other guys that have been gone? So
lots of interesting stuff came out of Tomorrow Never Dies. An excellent show put on by Chikara. We had fun. It was 3 hours long, and I didn't even feel like it was 3 hours long.
No.
It was so much fun, so entertaining, and 3 hours just flew by. Thank you again, Chikara. Awesome show. But that is it for our results this week. We're going to move on. We've got some upcoming shows. And we're going to start off with
PWG's Black Coal Sun.
Oh, gee.
It's going to be on the 12th. And, this has been one of the ones we've been hyping this one up for a couple months now. It's been forever. We got the Fatal 4-Way match. Biff Busick.
The scary one.
Uhaa Nation, Brian Cage, and Tommaso Ciampa. We got Bobby Fish versus Roderick Strong. A 6-man tag match featuring Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Johnny Gargano versus Rich Swann, ACH, and AR Fox.
I want to see that match so bad, man.
Cedric Alexander versus Adam Cole. The Tag Team Dream match. The Young Bucks taking on Chris Sabin and Matt Sydal. Chris Hero versus Trevor Lee. The tag titles are on the line. The world's cutest tag team takes on the Addiction. And in the title match, Ricochet versus Kyle O'Reilly. And then, the next day, on the 13th, we have Cage of Death 16 from Combat Zone Wrestling in Voorhees, New Jersey. We've got a tag team match. Team Tremendous, who won the tournament for tomorrow.
The crazy one that we just got to talk about.
Versus the Beaver Boys. Devin Moore and Lucky 13 take on Pepper Parks and Demetrius Papadon. We have DJ Hyde versus Chris Dickinson in a grudge match. Alexander James versus Rich Swann one-on-one. We have that 6-way scramble qualifying match for the Best of the Best 2014 tournament. Caleb Conley, Jonathan Gresham, Alex Collin, AR Fox, Speedball Mike Bailey, and The Product David Starr. We have the Norman Smiley Memorial Bunkhouse Brawl Ultraviolet Food Fight of Life or Death. Greg Excellent and a partner of his choosing versus Matt Tremont and a partner of his choosing in a tag-style death match situation. The Wired Championship is going to be on the line. Shane Strickland versus Chainsaw Joe Gacy. New announced the Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. Dave and Jake Chris, known as Ohio is for Killers, are defending the titles against the American Wolves. This team we've seen just pop up everywhere and anywhere, and these guys are amazing. So that's going to be a fantastic match. And then we have the Cage of Death match for the Combat Zone Wrestling Championship. Sozio defends against Biff Busick, Drew Gulak, and Black G's.
That's good. Man.
There will be blood.
Cage of Death and Black G's just scares me now.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You
that.
saw that annotation. And then we have, looking forward into the future, on the 26th, the day after Christmas.
Oh, shit.
AIW presents Charge It to the Underhills in Cleveland, Ohio. The only match we have announced is Eddie Kingston versus Chris Hero. Because Eddie Kingston laid out that challenge at the last AIW show.
Yes. He did call out Chris Hero.
And we had that confirmed that Kingston was going to be facing Hero. We also have scheduled to appear the Absolute Champion Tim Donst, Alex Shelley, Johnny Gargano, Chris Sabin, Veda Scott, Candice LeRae, and former WWE superstar Brian Myers.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then we have the next day after that, on the 27th in Berwyn, Illinois, AAW presents One Twisted Christmas. We have a few matches, 3 matches that have been announced so far. We have Ryan Boz taking on Marcus Crane and Dan Lawrence in a handicap Fans Bring the Weapons match.
That could get brutal.
Yeah, and we have Shane Hollister taking on Lewis Linden in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and then in what they're billing is one of their top matches of the night. From the Iron Curtain, Greg Iron and Benjamin Boone will take on the Dream Team of Dick Justice and Colt Cabana. Also scheduled to appear on that show will be Heidi Lovelace and the AAW champion Eddie Kingston.
All right.
And finally, but not leastly, we've got tomorrow night's iPay-per-view from Ring of Honor.
Yes, Ring of Honor presents Final Battle 2014. It'll take place from Terminal 5 in New York City. You can watch it on iPay-per-view. Starts 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got some good matches here going on. We got Jimmy Jacobs. This is a new one, by the way. Last time we talked about this, there was only 7 matches. The 8th match now, a 4-corner survival match between Jimmy Jacobs, Hanson, Mark Briscoe, and Caprice Coleman.
Wow. There's a lot of clashing styles there.
Yes. We've got a 6-man tag team match where the Young Bucks will team up with ACH to take on The Addiction and Cedric Alexander. We've got Michael Elgin taking on Tommaso Ciampa. We know that's going to be brutal. We got a grudge match stemming from what happened back at Survival of the Fittest. Moose taking on R.D. Evans. We have Roderick Strong taking on Adam Page. Then we get under our championship matches where Jay Lethal will defend the television championship against Matt Sydal. Dr. Agon, Red Dragon, defends their titles against the Time Splitters, Alex Shelley and Kushida. And finally, in a fight without honor for the ROH Championship, Jay Briscoe defends against Adam Cole.
That's going to be another brutal one.
Yeah, it is. We already know that those two were scary on their own, and you put them in a fight without honor.
Anything can happen.
It's going to get bloody.
They're going to fight.
That's tomorrow on iPay-per-view. I believe it's like $16 to watch it on iPay-per-view.
And it might be tomorrow or today, depending on when you watch this video. If you watch this like 2 weeks from now, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And if it's already been 2 weeks, then buy the DVD.
Yeah, if it's out.
Might be.
Might be out already.
But if not, I'm going to watch it. He might be with me.
I might be here.
He might. If whichever combination of him, me, just me, somebody's going to upload a review of Final Battle tomorrow. Because we can. That is it for our indie news this week. Lots of stuff happening. Year's coming to an end. A lot of big shows going on. But we're going to be moving on. We've got, if you've been keeping up, we uploaded a little early this week. So if you've already gotten a chance to check out those videos, we got brand new ones. We got this one. We're going to be doing the midweek wrap-up. And we've got the SmackDown Rundown coming up. So be sure to check those out. We'll see you at whatever video that you decide you want to watch.